Are you satisfied, happy, miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? It's time for the Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Tune in daily and join our controversial topics as we talk about singles, sex, and men and women's issues. And now, the queen of relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show. Always keeping it real. Your host, Michelle Hughes.
You're listening to the Michelle Hughes Show. Hello, everyone, and I want to welcome you to the show tonight. Yes, I'm Michelle Hughes, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us tonight. And we're going to be talking about I Am Addicted. Help! Oh yes, how many of you are out there and you have a sense of feeling addicted? What is your addiction? That's what I would ask you tonight. I'm going to give you a definition of what it means to be addicted, because so many of us are addicted and we don't even know why. What's the adjective of being addicted? Devoted or given up to a practice or habit, or to something psychologically or physically habit forming, usually followed by to be addicted to drugs, or to be addicted to sex, or to be addicted to that man, to be addicted to that woman, to be addicted to food, to just be addicted sometimes to yourself. What are you addicted to? Yes, that's the conversation tonight. We're going to be talking about those addictions. And if we're truthful, we all have been addicted to something. Somebody, to maybe you're addicted to your car. I'm talking to you, man. You know you're addicted to those cars. But we all have an addiction. In some way, form, or fashion, we've been addicted. We don't want to admit to our addictions, but somewhere we've been out there. We've been addicted. Yes, don't scream. Don't scream at me tonight, because we all have had some type of addiction. I know myself. I've been addicted sometimes to food. But tonight we're going to be reading from Ephesians 6, verses 10 through 13. Y'all pray for my glasses. And it says here in Ephesians 6, let me make sure I'm on the right page here. 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, yes, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to do what? Stand." See, there's a time when we are addicted to different things. It might be, as I said, it might be sex, it might be love, drugs, whatever that addiction may be. You're addicted, and it's going to take the Lord to come against the flesh, because that's what you're fighting against, your own flesh, and your flesh doesn't want to surrender once it's been pleasured. And so it's just like, when you are with that person who you shouldn't be with, like if you're in adultery or you're single, you're fornicating, doing stuff you ain't supposed to be doing, if you say you're a believer, at least. Some of you may not understand the language I'm talking about. I'm talking to Christians, those who say that you are joint heirs with Jesus Christ, and because of that, you have given him your life, and now you've surrendered it all to him. And so what that means, when you surrender everything to him by asking him to be Lord of your life, it means that you have to surrender to your flesh. Yes. And so all those things that we are addicted to, sometimes we're addicted to the TV. We look at too much TV and don't give enough time to God. I believe that if we set aside some time to just say, this is my time between me and God, and we are going to have some fellowship together so he can help me get it right. I mean, just to stop having all these desires that we have. Sometimes we have desires that it's not of us. I mean, we think it's us, but really it isn't. And so don't go too hard on yourself when you're thinking, well, Michelle, you don't understand. Yes, I do. I do understand. I'm going to read to you a poem. It's called Addicted to Love. Rainbow Slider. That's his name. And it says here, addicted to love, how it feels. Addicted to love and how it heals. Nothing else will to fill the void. Even though I will try to avoid, sometimes I just can't help myself. I just want to keep it all to myself. But when your love mixes with mine, oh, never was anything so like its kind. The hunger of it, I can't get enough of. It's so awesome. It's wonderful stuff. Somehow I feel it when you're around. It just lifts my heart off the ground. How I lived without, I will never know. Sometimes I can feel it deep in my soul. Want to keep it, don't want to share. But I can't hold it in when you're there. It's just like bubbles over, and it gets on you. I worry 'cause I don't know what to do. It was all mine, but you took it away. But it's still there, and it stayed. That's what addiction feels like. Until you ask God to lift that spirit off of you. Those of you who are in sexual affairs with people, having those sexual highs when you got to be with that person. You make a time. I want you to meet me at this time. I want you to meet me at such and such a place at such and such a time. And there's something about, when you're doing it, it seems like it's just you and her secret, especially when you're in adultery. It's like, oh yeah, I want you to meet me, baby. I want you to meet me at this time, and I want you to meet me at such and such a place, some hotel, And so it's an addiction that is not going anywhere until you decide that you want to be free. And we all have had to say, enough is enough. I'm tired of this sin taking me no place. And where is it going to take you? When you look up and you're with that woman in the bed with that person who's not your wife, or you in the bed with that man who's not your husband, and then you got to go home to your husband, and you got to look at his face knowing you just been with Johnny, or you go home and you just been with Betty or whoever you may put her name or his name to, and you still have to deal with that addiction. And so somewhere within yourself, to get peace, to get over that addiction, you have to make some agreements, or you have to make some allegiance to God. Like, Father, if you get me over this, I'll make an agreement Or I'll say this from my heart. If you get me out of this, I won't go back. I can remember saying that to God. If you get me over this situation, I will not go back to sinning, fornicating or what have you. And God will take that desire away from you. He will help you say enough is enough, because you'll begin to see it's too painful. Sex is a good thing. And I like to call it making love. But it's a good thing when you are, I believe, in the confines of marriage. Because that's your husband, that's your wife, and supposedly you can't go nowhere, and legally that's true. And so when you can do it, I believe, because I've never been there yet as far as marriage, but I believe when you get to that point when that's your baby over there, that's my honey, and this is my thing, and you can have it anytime you want. You want to call them at lunchtime, listen, baby, we got to get together, or what have you. That's the whole point in doing it God's way. But when we start being addicted to just having sex, or just to be with a man or to be with a woman because we feel that's our obligation, because we're addicted to sex, we're addicted to lovemaking, or whatever you want to call it, then that's when you have to call it in and say, God, help me. I'm talking to you singles. Because some of us are addicted to just a feeling of feeling good, to be held, to be loved by that man, or to be loved, to be held by that woman. And it's not going anywhere because you're addicted. And you're supposed to be addicted. Guess why? Because if you were married to him, that would be a common feeling that you should have. And so you have the right feeling. It's just that you're doing it outside of marriage. And so that's why I'm just being truthful with you all tonight, because I believe that it's time for us who are believers to realize we need help. And some of you're sinning inside the church, outside the church, but mainly you're sinning in your own home because it's you. And so whether you go to church, don't go to church, it doesn't matter. If you say you love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, what we just read just a second ago in Ephesians, He will give charge over the principalities, all the demons in hell that's trying to come against you, that doesn't want you to live right. And so that's what it is. It's holding you captive. And that's what he's been designed to do, the evil one, is to make you feel like, I can't get over this. I mean, she looks too good. She feels too good, or he feels too good. I'm not giving this up, Michelle. I don't care what you say. I'm going to stay in this relationship because it feels too good for me to give up. I'm not telling you to give up that person. Just make it right. Ask God to help you and this person to get it right. And if you love them so much, what's wrong with saying, hey, let's get married? Regardless of what people think or say, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that you love that individual. If you love that individual, who cares about what other people think about the person who you love? If that's your Boaz and that's your Ruth, then don't let anyone hold your blessings up. And if that person is not willing to marry you, you need to move on, because you're wasting your time. All you are is a good feeling. And he's addicted to you just as well as you are addicted to him. Well, listen, I know I gave you a mouthful and we just getting started with the show, right? But I'm going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to give you something to think about so that, you're going to begin to say, maybe I am addicted. Maybe I'm addicted to that love. Oh, yes.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as we deal with more heart-to-heart issues. This is the Queen of Relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show, where we keep it real. Stay with us on the Michelle Hughes Show. It's the Michelle Hughes Show. We keep it real. We talk about singles, sex, men and women issues. Come join the conversation on the Michelle Hughes Show. Are you satisfied, happy, or miserable? Are you looking for love in all the wrong places? Well, tune in daily and join our controversial topics. She is the Queen of Relationships on the Michelle Hughes Show. She keeps it real. Don't miss a show with Michelle Hughes.
That's right. Don't miss a show, because you would have missed out on some conversation that's going to help you have a better relationship with yourself and with those around you. Well, listen, I have a special guest that's coming tomorrow. I want you to join the show. We're going to have an interview with Dr. Bill. Yes, that's my guy. He is the man. If you're going through something, he had me in tears today. I'm telling you guys, you got to listen to the show tomorrow. And he's the type of person that, you know, he'll lift you up and get you out of all the woes that you're going through. You may have some things that you don't quite understand. Well, you want to listen to Dr. Bill, and he'll be here tomorrow. So tell a friend, Dr. Bill is back. Oh, yes, he is. Well, let's get back to the conversation, you guys. We're going to talk about, what are we talking about tonight? I am addicted. Help! It's almost like that. Woo! That cell phone. Yeah, help. You know, when you hear that cell phone, you trying to see if that's that special person calling you. You know, you trying to see if that's Bill calling you, or if that's Tom calling you. That's right. For that hot date, y'all. I got you. We're gonna give you a crack, 'cause you know I got you. You know what? But really, in all truthfulness, that is what addiction is all about, is being addicted sometimes to the wrong things. If we could ever get ourselves addicted to the right things and have freedom, it's something about when you are free to live the abundant life away from all the little things that comes to just make you feel as if you will never get there. You'll never have that freedom to be free from something that's had you for some years. And you know what that is. I can't tell you what that addiction is. It might be something that I didn't even mention tonight. But I want you to begin to write down some things. I believe writing is like therapy. I like writing. And it helps me to write things down, to figure out where I'm going, what is bothering me. Sometimes God will give me little nuggets, and I'll get up. You should always have a pen and a pad by your bed. That's how sometimes I get these topics. That's how I got this topic. And so I just write it down. And so when I get up the next day, I just write down, written down what God has given me. And so sometimes God will give you a word, and that word can be a release from whatever you're going through. And nobody can do it like him. And so when you begin to write those things down and begin to talk to God and ask God, say, you know what, Father, I love this person, but I want more. You need to begin to ask yourself, I need more from this person. I want more than just being a booty call. That's right. You deserve better than just being at the beck and call of somebody who just want to wrap you up in his arms or her arms, and then that's it. You want more. And I know some of you men, you're getting tired of that situation too. You're sick of just having that woman just there for the night, and then she's gone. Or some of you are living together, and it's just constant. You can get it when you want to, just like a married couple, but you just don't have anything written to say that you are, you're one with one another. And I think it's time that you begin to make some decisions. Don't let this year go out without you saying, I'm going to do it for myself. I want to have some peace. Some of you have children, and they don't even know that you're not married. And so it's to make it right for the family, to get the family in order. And you don't want your little girl, your son growing up thinking this is how you live life. No, it's not. This is not the way our culture has taught us to live. We have gotten away from how it used to be. When I'm a little older now, but back in the day, if you were living together, you were like Sean on. It's like, ooh, that was a no. Yes, come on, let's get some more. Yeah. Get some booing in there. Yeah, it was a no. We're not condemning nobody, but I'm saying it was a no. So now it's like an everyday thing. But what we did, we lessened the ability for someone to marry us. Now, I'm not for you just, that's why we're here. I'm not for you just running down the aisle and get married, okay, just to get out the sex scene. Listen, you got me wrong, okay? Nope, that's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I want wedding bells. Yes, I do. We want wedding bells, but we want it in the right way, okay? I'm not saying run down the aisle just because, Michelle over here talking about get married. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. You're addicted to sex. You're addicted to maybe the spirit of being in love, but you're not willing to make a commitment to that person. So you have to begin to figure out what problem you have. And I don't know what your problem. It could be many other things. There's some people like threesomes. There are people who say, I got to have more than one person. Well, that's not right. And so some of you are in relationships. I hear so much, I hear women who just because they just want to please the man in their life, they let other women come in and just having threesomes. Now that is just pure addiction. You're addicted to just fulfill in any way you feel possible. And some of it because you might be on drugs. You might be addicted to drugs. And so those drugs got your mind all confused and thinking this is you when really it's the drugs. And so we have to get free. Some of us may have never been high. Some of us may have never taken a drink, so you don't understand what that feels like. But I understand what it feels like to take a drink, okay? And so I know how to take a drink, and I know I've taken maybe sometimes too many drinks. And so I understand what that feels like, you people. And so the thing is, you have to ask God, Lord, help me to overcome this drinking. Help me to overcome smoking. And I know some of you are saying, well, you just don't understand. It's not that easy. No, I do understand. I used to smoke too. And so I know it's not easy. But if you ask God to help you to overcome those addictions, He will. But He won't do it. He's not going to come and boom. Maybe y'all need to hear something clapping, Let me see, what can to tower over you and say, boom, do this. No, you have to ask Him. You have to be willing to make the change. And so until you get to that point that you know it's time to make a change, He doesn't go over or against our will. And so you have to begin to decide enough is enough. And I keep saying that because I'm just trying to get that into your spirit to you to understand, are you tired? Because if you're not tired, you're just going to stay another year, maybe 5 more years, and you're going to still be in the same state of mind. And you're only going to have yourself when you end up like a whole lot of people in these places where you have to get free from the addiction. And then you're trying to figure out, well, how did I get here? You got here because you're not listening. You're not listening to your body. You're not listening to your spirit. No one's going to tell me that God's not speaking to you or sending people into your life to tell you it's time to quit. And so you have to decide it's time to quit. And I hope tonight is your time to begin to let this roll over in your spirit, roll over in your mind, so you'll begin to say, you know what, Michelle's really trying to help me. She's really just trying to get me to think about what I'm doing with my life. She's not trying to beat up on me and try to make me feel bad because I'm in this, sexual sin, or I'm on drugs, or I'm using things that I know I should be doing to my body. Really, you're only doing it. You're only hurting yourself in the end. And so what we're trying to do is get you freed up to realize you're not out here by yourself. And we're asking God, Lord, in the name of Jesus, free these people up. Father, give them liberty to understand that there is a better life outside of what they're doing. And it's going to take you, Father, to send forth the angels of healing, freedom into their life where they are right now under the sound of my voice. Free them from everything that they're going through. If it's low self-esteem, we could be addicted to low self-esteem. We just feel so bad about ourselves. What about you all feel? I feel so fat, Michelle. You just don't understand. Yes, I understand. They used to call me chubby as a kid. So yeah, I understand. And so no, you have to ask God, Lord, free me up. Free me up from being just whatever you feel in your heart right now that you are addicted to. I don't know what all those addictions are. There's some things I may not even, like I told you earlier, that I might not have even mentioned. But you know what they are. And we're asking God to free you tonight. Free you. You want to be free. Say, I'm free. Say it out loud. Say, I'm free. I feel my freedom coming in Jesus' name. Say, I feel my freedom coming. I know that I'm free from everything that is trying to hold me captive. I'm no longer captive to my addiction. Wherever, speak it out. Say, I'm no longer captive to this sexual demon that's trying to take over me. Or maybe it's just this love demon, just loving everybody. You don't care who it is, just love everybody. Every day is a different person. And you're going to say enough is enough. I'm tired of having sex with this woman, or that man, this man. Whoever treats me good for the moment, I'm there. I'm available. And you're saying enough is enough. I'm more than that. Oh, I'm tired of these cigarettes. I'm tired of smoking. I'm tired of marijuana. You know what you addicted to. And so today is your time to say enough is enough. I'm no longer going to be addicted. And every time you puff on that cigarette or you find yourself having sexual intercourse with somebody, you're going to say what? I'm free. Every time you go into, you're going to say in your mind, you ain't got to always say it out, in front of the person that you're with, but you begin to say, I'm free. And I guarantee you, the more you do that, you're going to find yourself having less appetite for those things that you used to be addicted to. Because now you are talking to that addiction. And you're beginning to say, I am no longer addicted to whatever it is. I am no longer addicted to this. Say it out. Say, I'm no longer addicted to the feelings that I once had to whatever. And you speak it out. You know what it is. And you begin to say that. Begin to speak those things. And that's how I stay free. I talk to myself. And people say, don't talk to yourself. That's a crazy person. Well, you want to be free? Then you better end up not being crazy, because I ain't saying you crazy. But what I'm saying that if you want to get a little freedom, then you better start talking to yourself. Because who else going to talk to you? Your neighbor can't come and tell you to get free. You yourself. Say it again. Say, I'm free. He who the Son sets free is what? Free indeed. He's here to set you free tonight from whatever addiction that you are feeling right now. Say, I am free. I'm free from lying. Did you know liars won't enter the kingdom of God? So if you've been lying, that's an addiction. Say, I'm free from lying. I'm free from lying on other people. I'm free. Whatever that's holding you captive, and you know that you don't have any joy from it, so just begin to say, I'm free. I am free. And I thank you tonight for speaking into my life, Michelle. You truly are our coach. And yes, you do love us. Because this is something that I needed to hear tonight. Because yes, I am addicted. And I don't want nobody to know what my addiction is. But I know that God knows what it is, because he never sleeps, he never slumbers. There's nothing that we can hide from him. And so when you understand that, you're not hiding it. You may hide it from maybe your mom or your sister, your brother, but you can't hide nothing from him, And so when you understand that, that's been my freedom, is to know that, Father, it doesn't matter what other people think about me. What matters is you. Because on the day of judgment, you're the one going to say, enter in thy worthy servant. Entering in. No, but nobody else can say that to you. But you can say it now by living a lifestyle that's free. That's free from all the cares of this world. And so how do you do that? By giving it to him. You got to learn how to have a relationship with God. And you see, God is the only person that can free you up. He's the only one who has the power to do it. And so when you understand that, you'll begin to talk to him more. Less to your friends, less to your girlfriends, less to people who really doesn't mean too much. And we thank God for people, because I talk about relationships. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you shouldn't have relationships. But when you begin to develop more relationship with God, and he will begin to teach you through his word how to have a better relationship with yourself. And he's the only one that can free you up from this addiction. And so what you're going to say tonight? What you going to say? I am free. I am free. Say, he who the Son sets free is free indeed. So what you going to say every day? I'm free. You're going to say free until one day you're going to say, I am really free. I am no longer smoking. I am no longer having to be with a man each and every day, or a woman. I am free from that sexual demon. Ain't nothing wrong with sex now. I ain't telling y'all not to. You married people now, if y'all listen to me. I'm talking to the singles right now, okay? Get that straight. But you will begin to just say, I'm free. I am free. And when you begin to keep saying that to yourself, all of a sudden, you'll feel a freedom, and you'll begin to just clap your hands, and God will just begin to just give you a freedom that only he can give you. And so I just think, I just know that That's right. Clap your hands. That's right. Clap your hands. Give them a little cheering tonight. That's right. Yes. Yes. Woo! That's how freedom feel. That's how freedom sound. That's right. And something about that. Yeah, let's get a little clapping in there too. Yeah, come on. Let's get a little clapping in there. Yes, 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 yes. All right, all right. See, it's something about that freedom, man. When you get free, can anything hold you back? Well, until tomorrow, what do we do here? And don't forget about Dr. Bill tomorrow. Don't forget to join us. But what do we do here? We keep it real. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks for tuning in to the Michelle Hughes Show. Join us daily for more hot topics with the Queen of Relationships. Always keeping it real. See you tomorrow on the Michelle Hughes Show.